I left all of you in one of the worst cliffhangers I think I've ever done, so let's not kill you any longer. I'm saying that there's no possible way that the witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It's entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. So this is where we're going to start hopefully unraveling this case. I think, yes, of course, I was just going to say Von Karma has something to say about this. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix, right? But she is sweating. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive in time. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He's blinded by his rivalry with Max. Oh, this is... Phoenix actually stepping up to the plate and fighting with Von Karma is something we haven't seen yet. Well, the defense argument does hold water. This witness does have the history of animosity towards the defendant. How dare you? I wouldn't like to just get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. See, this is already such a sham with this, like, ventriloquist dummy talking in the case. Let's just go with it. Just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly what you saw on that night. I've told you so many times, you think you'd know my story's not changing. Well, at this point, like, I don't know how Japanese courts work, but at this point you'd be thrown out already, so you're lucky you're getting another testimony. You've already changed your story, Stick Boy. I'm sure it will change some more. Calling him Stick Boy is a good insult. Where there is one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We go again. Like, I don't know if, like, if that were, like, if anyone's into law, please let me know how it works over there, but I'm pretty sure after two lied testimonies, you'd be gone. You'd be told to get out. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. Okay. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. That's a little... Okay, that's a little bit weird. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. He keeps going back to the symbols. This is his, like, only thing. I think he's very worried that he might not have anything else. So that means that money didn't show up until after you saw Max? That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. So there's 2 things that I definitely want to talk about here. Maybe 2 or 3. The money snatched the ring. Then money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about... I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. I will. By the way, I decided like to just... sometimes I dip in and out of voices. I decided just to go with my own voice. It's hard to talk for that long, especially when you're doing like this with your voice. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. I'll give you that I was waiting the night for Regina. Yeah, you were. You're telling the truth about that, but that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza night. I also believe this as well. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I strangely believe this as well. It's this that I want to press. This is weird to me. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. The reason this is weird to me is because earlier on it was just like he was walking by. Now he's changed it completely that he was talking to Max. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? Wait a second. No, this is... Oh, I picked up on something completely different. Okay. And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben, you've got something to add? Let me guess, that's not Trilo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trilo. Mr. Christopher, I prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performance. You should know that better. There's got to be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Is it Trilo's evening greeting? At first I thought it was weird that he said hello to someone that he didn't like. But then I thought that, for a second I thought that he said good evening to someone when it was earlier on in the night, or it was later in the night and you don't say good evening to someone in the nighttime. It's either one of those. Let's go with that. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers? It's like he hit him over the head with a bottle earlier. I wouldn't say hello to someone who hit me over the head with a bottle. Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. There is no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. The broken bottle, right? Right? Hold on a second. If I can present this broken bottle to you. Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. Exactly. That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? Is that an admission of assault and battery? It is. He could get charged with that, right? But murder, I don't think so. Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. It actually is kind of like a bit strange that we're, you know, you wouldn't usually, I'd say, admit that like I guess if you're looking for a lesser plea, I guess, getting done for assault is a lot less than getting done for murder. So yeah, I guess it does make sense. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening, true. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. There was no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival. Too true, I didn't even think of that part. Are you saying the witness is lying? Yes, 100% he's lying for a third time. That he's trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene. I didn't tell a single lie, honestly, you did. That's enough from you, Mr. Queese, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? He didn't see anyone, he just saw the defendant. He saw a different person? It is my belief that the witness didn't see someone that night. It was just someone else that he said. My reasoning for this, by the way, is that I don't think he's lying about actually seeing someone. But it looks like it maybe wasn't Max. I could be completely wrong on this. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max tonight, there would have been no greeting at all, which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That's why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world? Okay, we're gonna have to bluff our way through this. Will the defense kindly explain who it was that Trilo saw that evening? There's only one person that he could have saw that was like in the circus that had the same kind of like... It's Russell Berry, right? Because you'd know Mo from a mile away, you'd see his nose, you'd see his clown nose. If Russell Berry was covered up, like, you wouldn't believe he was Max, but like... Maybe in the nighttime you would, but like, you could see this guy from a mile away. Couldn't be Regina because she's 16 years old, why is everyone trying to marry her? What are you guys doing? That's so creepy. He's 31. Okay, Russell Berry. Considering the ill temper of the witness, there was only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. What is wrong with the... I didn't know she was 16. That's so weird. If it was Regina, Trila would have given her the engagement ring as a present. It's really creepy. Yeah, I suppose you got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. See, even Von Karma is a good judge, a good lawyer underneath all of this. She understands that, like, a court case... Like, even though she's delusional, she clearly understands when, like, the truth is the truth. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trilo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Queese. This guy's name is Mr. Queese, for fuck's sake. Order, how do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. How could you, you couldn't really mistake the frame and the size. I guess if it was nighttime you probably could, but you've lied 3 times now. I think it was high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Queest obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster one, Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness had clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols, which is the one was a white rose, right? Yeah, this is getting old. Come on, man, you've got to remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone, all together now. Yes, we know. Silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat and cloak. Anyone could wear them. They could even look good on me. Maybe. What was that? Well, the witness had endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. Why would he dress up as him, though? This is what's confusing to me, too. I'm kind of like on Von Karma's side here. Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, that is true. You have to prove it. If that's the case, then it's impossible for you to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point in this one. That is very unfortunate. Oh, shit, no. You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, right? What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from the witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but... Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to the question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. What? That there is no evidence, there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. It's going to be Mo, right? Or Regina. Mo or Regina. Court is now in recess. To be continued. Okay, we're going to save here, but we're going to keep going for a little bit longer. I don't have all the time in the world today, but we do have some time, so there's no point in not keeping going. There we go. December 29th, 11:54 a.m. District Court. Lobby number 5. Sweetie, you have to believe me, I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene. So then, where were you when the murder took place? We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. The cloak's on the thing! Well, we can't see that, of course, but... And while you were there, it was the ringmaster left the room, right? Exactly, he told me to wait in the room because he would be right back. I wondered, did he put on the cloak and the hat because it was cold outside that night? That's what it seems like. But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right? Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off. Which means... It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. That's what I was thinking. That's a fabulously possible possibility. Well done, Nick. However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up with me? It was cold, right? It was cold, that's what I'm thinking. If you think about it, all they found was at the crime scene was my silk hat. There was no coat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double him. Wow, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something. Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up. Magician or president? They're so far removed from each other. You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision. That's really cool. Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. I'm assuming the killer probably took the coat off, right? Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Miss Von Camera, please proceed with the prosecution's case. Very well, I will now call my next witness. A pitiful it's Mo, with unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Curls please take the stand? Why did he just call him a pitiful clown? The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record. What is happening? In West... What was that? What was that? What did he say? What did he say? Will the witness please inform the court why he is speaking in autobiographical gibberish? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in a court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited to this sort of occasion. What in the world are you talking about? You're in the Grand Hall of Justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court. Oh yeah, maybe this is joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear pants? The sign only says no shirt, no shoes, no service. I think we found our culprit. I'm just gonna let that rest for you, Mo, for a second, this silence. Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist, Dr. Seymour Butts? That one's kind of funny. That one's kind of funny. He's doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song. But a bunch of clowns up to no good. Oh my god, this is fucking crazy. Lawrence Curls, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown. You witnessed the scene at around 10:15 the day of the murder. Correct? Yes it is. Very well, Mr. Curls, will you please testify to what you saw that evening? A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafarian walked in. Okay, whip him. Without the humor, please. Okay. Poor Mo can't be his normal stoogey self in this court. Well, it's funny you say stoogey, because two of the stooges are called Larry, Curly, and Mo, right? Right, so is his name like, and yeah, Mo. You could say Lawrence is like Laurie, almost close. I know it's like a bit of a stretch, but I know I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and a polite applause. Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless, but I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today, but this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try making everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone, what do you think? This isn't a testimony. You're telling your life story. Oh, I pressed the profile again by accident. Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here? Witness. Huh? We will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Yeah, it like... I don't know. Thus, please stick to the facts of this case. Really? You'll really hear me out? Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later. Thank you, I can't wait! Poor Gumshoe. Wait, it's gonna be Gumshoe? Now that that's settled, shall we begin once again with the testimony? Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want. Let's just hear the testimony and we'll leave it there. The night of the murder, practice was over, I went straight back to my room. Okay. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out at the window. That was when I saw 2 silhouettes. They were a bit far away though. There was the ringmaster and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. So this guy's lying. That is very interesting. If the eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass the judgment. Wait, he said there were silhouettes, though. Like, even you on camera wouldn't fall for this shit. There is no way that this account can be criticized. He said silhouettes. However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter. Almost like he's some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him. That must be because of my insincere smile. Mr. Wright, please begin the defense cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. I am going to die. Nick, you gotta find some kind of contradiction in his testimony. I know that. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, I'm afraid that if you push the witness too far, it will bring disaster upon this court. Thus, I sincerely hope you are not going to engage in pointless saber rattling. I understand, Your Honor. If he calls his clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible. What? You brought this witness in, you freaking idiot! I shouldn't be calling people idiots, but still. Here we go. So the night of the murder, yeah, you have no idea how tired I was and whatever that is. So I thought I'd go straight to sleep. Before I did, I glanced out the window. So I want to press this statement and this one. Yeah? You just happened to glance out the window? You could say that you could say also peek, stare, glimpse, peed, eyeball. Mr. Curls! Oh, I guess synonyms aren't allowed either. What should I do? Fuck it. Whatever. Exactly, why did you look out your window that night? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out the windows, do they? That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday. Once I had tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump. So he looked out his window afterwards. After he heard the thump. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You forgot? Your Honor, the witness looked out his window upon hearing a loud sound. He didn't just simply glance out of his window that night. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I? That's not something you forgot to mention. Yeah, what she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony. This should start turning the tables in our favor. I don't know. I'm kind of like... There's a lot of pauses in my speech today because I am dealing with clowns and ventriloquists. I heard a huge noise outside the window and that's what made me look. I'm pressing this again. What was the sound like? Well, I guess it kind of sounded like, I guess you could say, Mr. Curls, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary. How'd you know I was going to make a joke? Because you're, oh. I guess that sounded like I suppose it sounded like someone getting hit in the head with something very hard. Yes, that's what it sounded like. Someone getting hit, huh? What then? You went to look out the window and you saw... What did you see? That's when I saw 2 silhouettes. They were a bit far away though. See, I want to press on this. And this. These other ones. Wait, I want to go back to the start for a second. I want to go through all these statements. I know you're going to be like, hey Calvin, there's probably no need for this. But I feel like it's... Okay, so we have not on this one. Not on this one. We already pressed on this. Already pressed on this. I kept watching them and all of a sudden Max clonked the ring. Yeah, you were lying on this one. I forgot about this one. I was going to do the other one, but we might as well do this one first. You say when you saw the ringmaster get clonked over the head. Yes, I did. It was the climax of my story. He really does enjoy the completely random non sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with? You mean the weapon? I have no idea. A weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right? That's not what I meant. You did say that you did see everything, didn't you? Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no I didn't. I didn't see a weapon. Mo, did you or did you not see the crime of murder committed that night? It's a good question. I will not permit you to harass. It's not her. Von Karma, let's take this outside. Come on. You better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor clown. Because if you don't, you know what's waiting for you. That is a big penalty. Do you have any clear basis to believe that my witness did not see the crime? Of course I do. I've got a great reason to make my claim. Well, first of all, there were silhouettes. And I suppose you were telling us that's that great reason. Also, he said that he heard the thud, then got up. This dude is clearly lying to his teeth, but it's not new with us. Of course I will. The reason is the witness's very own testimony. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of someone getting hit. He did say that. However, Mo just stated the following under oath. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. Yeah, he's lying. He's a lying clown. If Mo is to believed when he says he looked out the window upon hearing a sound, there is no way that he could have seen Max clonk anyone. And in 1972... Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment? See, here's the thing with, Mo. I truly believe that Mo, wants to be the center of attention, which is leading him to, trying to, get as much time in this court as possible in front of a crowd. Because obviously he's talked about how no one wants to see the clowns as much as they used to. Max is kind of the star. He's living this up. I get that. But this is a court of law, my friend. They didn't commit. These clowns promptly escaped from a maximum security clown car. Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court? No. I'm just stalling for time while I jog my memory. Great job, Nick. These types of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. You just have to peel back the layers of the clown makeup to find the truth.